What is up, everyone? Sean here, and today I wanted to talk about something potentially big that could happen in August during Evo. It is regarding to some sort of rumor, but it is still worth talking about, and I'm just gonna go right into it. And it's the possible revival of Marvel's Capcom Infinite with a new iteration or new edition or enhanced, some sort of like revival, reboot, whatever you want to call it, with Marvel's Capcom Uncanny Edition. So this came from an article on 20galaxies.com, I believe it was called. I'll leave the link in the description box below. I'll do my best to do that before I forget. But anyways, this is something I wanted to talk about because, you know, even if it is some sort of rumor, it's just something that gets me a little excited here. So I'm going to read off the image that the article provides from an anonymous source, and it definitely talks about what the Uncanny Edition offers for the MvCI possible revival. But I'll just go read it off. So here we go. The game will be called MvCI Uncanny Edition. Capcom has 75% creative control, as it was Capcom that took the brunt of the loss. So they pretty much like got most of the backlash, and then after that is Disney and Marvel, whatever, or the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Anyways, this creative control extends to art, graphics, music, and even the roster. Marvel approached Capcom for making an update to advertise Avengers 4. Capcom said it would, but only if X-Men characters were in the roster on Marvel's side. The game will have a significantly longer development cycle than Infinite, as Capcom expects to release the game around Q1 of 2019. The game has a high budget as well. There will be more Capcom characters added than Marvel characters to balance out the game. Uncanny Edition will be revealed after SF5 Grand Finals, and G, Viper, and Sodom will be revealed before SF5 Top 8 on Evo Sunday. The game will be a standalone version, as the game has significant revisions compared to Infinite. Characters added will be Wolverine, Magneto, Doctor Doom, Deadpool, Gambit, Psylocke, Sentinel, Storm, Shimogorath, Cable, Doc Ock, Super Skrull, and Juggernaut for the Marvel side. Akuma, Ruby Heart, Amingo, Jill from Marvel's Capcom 2, Virgil, Wesker, Leon, Jin, Captain Commando, Jean, Felicia, Azura, and Beautiful Joe, and of course Amaterasu. Any questions about the game, please ask. I have a shit ton of info I can dump. So, it as rambunctious as this sounds, it is something to kind of still talk about. You know, like it sort of makes sense from the first article of the paragraph anyway. That, you know, yeah, of course, Capcom took the most backlash out of all the groups that were involved. That included, you know, Marvel Cinematic Universe, Disney, and of course Capcom. And Capcom got most of it because they're the ones in charge of the game, you know, overall. When it comes to development, the art, and everything, right? So, you know, of course they had to take the backlash from it. But this time around, according to this rumor anyway, they have much more creative control now. And Marvel wanted them to continue it just to advertise, you know, the next Avengers film. But, you know, Capcom said they were, you know, strongly wanted to add the X-Men characters, because they're just such big characters within the Marvel's Capcom, you know, iterations and titles, that they wanted to add them in and not exclude them, which was one of the big mistakes, I guess, for MvCI. And it seems like, you know, according to this, Marvel was like, okay, well, whatever, we'll, you know, let you do that, so as long as you advertise Avengers 4. And so this time we'll probably see the X-Men in this, but I don't know. It sounds very enticing. It sounds very exciting and all. But of course, this is still a rumor, and being announced at Evo of all places, right? That's like the right place to do it because a lot of people who come to this event are big fans of fighting games, which makes all the more sense. E3 would have been nice, but the next best thing they could do is announce it at Evo. Just it's the biggest fighting game tournament still, I would say, in the world. I think that's pretty true, right? Still at this point, but still it is it's still a rumor. I must emphasize that, but it's just really funny of something that like this would pop up. But yeah, I mean, as much as I would love to see something like this, I don't expect myself to see the Uncanny edition of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. It would be awesome, and if it is, assuming that it is true, I would love to see what the game looks like, and I hope to God that they revise the story mode if they're gonna go back to it, or just dump it all together just for a just a robust, fun arcade mode experience that offers you like a reason to keep playing arcade mode. Like you get in-game currency, or you get art for it, artwork to collect, just something to unlock for the gallery. And of course you gotta put in the voice packs back in there with the Japanese voices, and of course can't leave out the English voices either for both audiences, right, who love that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, of course, the gameplay, they didn't really talk about it because that was the best part of MvCI. It was just fine, in my opinion, but yeah, of course, the biggest problem was the art, I guess the music, graphics, of course, the technical aspect of that as well. But yeah, I really hope to see something like this, or I wouldn't have any problem seeing like a Capcom All-Stars fighting game with the same sort of direction or the creativity that sort of what that MvCI had. But of course, now that Capcom has all the control, they can do whatever they want with it. So that means we can see a much robust roster with a lot more memorable characters, with so many beloved returns and blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? And the fact that this says, oh, this game will release around the first quarter of 2019. So it's pretty much saying January, February, and March, which sounds and I guess maybe April. Actually, no, sorry about that. It's just the first 3 months, which sounds all the more ambitious, but it's just it sounds way too ambitious to be true, or just too good to be true. But it's pretty comical enough for me to talk about something like this. And again, I would love to see it, but yeah, it's just something I would not expect myself to build myself, and all of a sudden, oh, that's it for grand finals of Street Fighter 5. That's it, folks. Not really talking about the other characters as well, like G, Viper, and Sodom, that funny enough were mentioned in this article as well. I mean, is it talking about G and Viper and Sodom for Street Fighter 5, or is it also also a reveal for MvCI Uncanny Edition? I don't know. I mean, it could be a possibility. I mean, this article didn't really state it that clear when it comes to those three characters, but I'm assuming it's for Street Fighter 5, according to this rumor anyway. And of course, it will have a much longer development cycle, so we would expect to see even more DLC after all these other characters added in there, which would be great. But again, it just sounds all the more ambitious, sounds all the more true. It just sounds like what people really wanted, and this person just decided to just stir the pot on the internet and play with a lot of people's emotions, including mine possibly. But again, I'm definitely putting my expectations on low, and not really gonna expect for this to be announced at EVO, but what I could see happening is something else of, you know, this kind of format of fighting game from Capcom. It could be, you know, it could be like Sega versus Capcom. It could be Nintendo versus Capcom, or just be Capcom versus, or just, you know, some sort of Capcom versus title that could be a little different from what we expect. But I don't know. This rumor could be something else. It could lead to something else, which is not Marvel's Capcom. I don't know, because MvCI was such a big failure that why would you know, Marvel approach to them again for a Marvel vs. Capcom game? You know what I mean? Like, something like this would hurt investors' like hopes and stuff like that, and just like the motivation to keep investing in this kind of title. It was such a big loss on them that, you know, I wouldn't think that the investors and stuff like that, all the business sides of things, would fund Marvel's Capcom ever again, at least for a long while anyway, until everything cools down. But, you know, or we get a new set of investors to, you know, who really want Marvel's Capcom to be really good again, you know, and fund it that way. But I don't know. It just seems really soon for something like this to happen. But, you know, for now, it's a dream. It's a rumor. It's just kind of a fantasy for now. I mean, again, I would love to see something like this, you know, happen. But it's just all just sounds like someone's dream, and someone just wanted to just start a rumor just to get their internet going again, especially with the FGC. So yeah, that's just how I see it. Again, I would love to see it, but it's just a rumor, and I don't really want to expect myself to believe that something like this would be announced at EVO. It's like, whoa. I mean, if it is announced at EVO, I would probably explode off my seat. But whether it's at our Airbnb or at actual grand finals live, but I don't know. It's cool, but yeah, for now it's a rumor. So before I go into a loop in this video, that's pretty much it for me for my thoughts on a possible revival, a rumored revival on MvCI Uncanny Edition. It gets me, it's actually getting me a little giggly, but if you guys have any comments about Marvel's Capcom Infinite Uncanny Edition, whether it's true or not, but it is a rumor for now. If you have any comments about that, leave it down below. Love to check them out. And yeah, so that's pretty much it for the Hawke Talks episode on MvCI Uncanny Edition. For now, it's a rumor, but we'll see about EVO, which is not too far away now. We're just pretty much close to a month. And I definitely would love to see what is going to be announced at EVO during Sunday finals. We'll definitely see Sagat or excuse me, G, and we'll probably see maybe some update for Tekken or something, more DLC or something, or maybe more DLC for BlazBlue, more DLC for all the other pre-existing fighting games. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll definitely see some sort of reveal during Sunday finals. So anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. I'll see you guys next time. John out.